Okay, home stretch, folks. Let's wrap this up. I want to hide this top housing here, so we're just able to see our speaker a little bit better, as well as the cable we've already created. In fact, I'll hide some of these other pieces too. Let's just hide all of this stuff, get it out of our way. Further, I would like to change that subwoofer back to having a different material, just so it's a little bit less visually hard to see. So let's add an appearance to that. And I'll make that, I don't know, yellowish color like we did before. Hit OK. Perfect. Now we can see a little better. I'll also go ahead and hide some of these axes and sketches that are visible in the center here, because I find those also a little bit distracting. Okay, so now we want to create some more three-dimensional splines, and I'm going to kind of cheat to do this a little bit. Let's edit that cable in context. And once again, let's hide the solid body for the sweep. So we're just left with this sketch curve out in space. And what I want to do is connect that with this as a single curve. And doing that quickly involves a couple of quick cheats. All right, so first of all, let's turn off the no external references thing. We are going to create some external references and then promptly delete them when we're done. So let's go to our Sketch tab and do a new 3D sketch. Grab our spline tool, we'll snap one end to the end point of our curve, and the other end to the center point of this first contact. Then we can set that to be tangent on the one end to our spline. Let's right-click that. Let's insert a spline point somewhere in the middle, and then drag that off to the side. So we get something that's kind of roughly cable-like coming up here. And we'll have to look at this from different angles to make sure that, that this thing is flowing the way that we want it to. And then I can delete that constraint that we created. Select this endpoint and then just drag it over somewhere like that. Perfect. And then come to a different view, drag it over, say, to something like that. So it's somewhere just alongside our contact rather than being, snapped straight to it. And if I end up creating some constraints along the way, no big deal. I can also select this point and right-click it and come down to Show Sketcher Triad, and that'll make it a little bit easier to kind of move this piece around a little bit more precisely in three-dimensional space. So I'm left with a sketch that represents the path of one half of this cable coming up to that first contact. That looks pretty good. So I can exit that sketch, and then we can create the first half of this cable. Let's re-show that solid body. Zoom in down here. And I'm going to create a sketch right here on this first plane, and then draw a circle that's going to be co-radial with one half of this. Let's make it co-radial with this half using the Make Co-Radial constraint. And then exit the sketch, head over to the Features tab, and we'll do a Swept Boss. We've already got our profile selected. Let's choose a path. We'll choose this new path we've created, and hit OK. And now we have one half of our cable coming straight up just the way that it should. Perfect. And now we just have to create the other half using the exact same method. So let's just zoom in here and do that as well. And I'm not going to make you follow along with this because hopefully you're self-sufficient enough that you can do this on your own. So I'm going to do this in fast motion now, and hopefully you can follow along. And there we have it, friends. We now have a cable that goes begins with our speaker. The two individual leads come straight out the base, out the back, has a coil, and we are all done. Let's go through here. Let's exit this, this part and just do a little visual cleanup. I'm going to click on this and remove its appearance. And we'll select all of these guys and remove their appearances as well. and make sure to show any components that are missing. And there we have it, completed model. Ta-da!